Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning into the Mixed Texan Report. The left is triggered by Tim Allen because of a tweet. Before I get into that, I'm a huge fan of Tim Allen. I love his movies. I love the Santa Claus movies. I love Last Man Standing. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. Probably my top five. Who knows? I mean, I love Last Man Standing. It had a great run. So let's check this out. What did Tim Allen say that pissed off the left? Biden was on 60 Minutes. I heard he asked how long the show was. Now, this is actually pretty funny. I mean, he took a jab at Biden because he's cognitively on a decline. He's actually, he's cognitively is not all there. He says some pretty stupid things. He kind of wanders off. People have to guide him to the right direction. He seems like he's kind of an idiot. I mean, sorry, what you say about President Trump, no matter what people say about him, or how you think, what you feel about him, the guy, you can never question the guy's cognitive abilities. And the left went nuts. They tried to get him to take his exam. See, when he became president, if he's all there, they said something he needs to be checked out. He took the test and he passed with flying colors. The doctor said that he was completely healthy, mentally and physically, and they went nuts. They wanted something to be wrong with this guy. But anyway, what did these leftists, these liberals say in response to Tim Allen? You've really fallen off, bro. Go back to monkey noises. You nailed that. This is from Titus with the blue check mark. I don't know who this is. Vision resists. It has begun 2016. Okay. What a shame. I love the Santa Claus. Now I choose not to support this man or any of his projects, including the Santa Clauses on Disney Plus. He's showing us who he really is, who he supports, and what he believes. My money will not support treasonous grifters. Okay? Lisa Beth designs gems. Tim Allen is a Trumper, seditious, criminal, domestic terrorist. Good to know. I want to ask this dumb woman, how exactly is Tim Allen a domestic terrorist? You know why? Because he's a conservative. So the left is labeling, they're putting us under a blanket of, if you're a conservative, Republican, you support Trump, whatever, you are a domestic terrorist. You're an extremist in their book. So yeah, this is where we are today. So here's an advertisement for Tim Allen's new movie. I won't be watching because it is on Disney Plus, and I have decided to cancel Disney as an organization because of their stance on this transgender nonsense. So we see it's from last year. Disney producer admits pushing trans agenda on children. This woman who is a producer for Disney was at a Zoom meeting, and she was admitting that she is putting queer transgender nonsense wherever she could inside her production, in TV shows, whatever it is. And I assume this could be one of them. Check this out.
Our royal ball. We met the most amazing princess, but they ran away, and all they left behind was this.
Everyone, there's something I need to tell you. The princess who came to your ball tonight was me. I'm Gonzarella.
But Gonzo, why didn't Vu tell us?
Because you all expected me to look a certain way. I don't want you to be upset with me, but I...
Why can't you just let kids be kids? This is why I don't support Disney anymore. I won't go to their parks. I won't watch their movies. And I have held true to that. Just like I canceled the NBA for their stance on the BLM nonsense and people kneeling during the anthem and the BLM on the court. So the difference between the right and the left, when we cancel things, it's because of this we don't support sexualizing kids. They cancel us or people or organizations for dumb reasons. Like the president of Goya, working or saying good things about President Trump. So they wanted to cancel him. It's just stupidity. But we don't support sexualizing kids. We want kids to be kids. I used to watch Nickelodeon a lot when I was a kid. Ren and Stimpy was my favorite cartoon. Rugrats, Doug, Hey Arnold, all those cartoons, and I never saw anything that was trying to make me think a certain way because I turned out just fine. You know, I never got the impression that they were trying to persuade me to do anything or to think like I'm possibly a woman or blah blah whatever. I don't know where Nickelodeon stood back then politically, and I don't care. The point is that they made great. They had a great network. Loved. I'm sorry, I loved Nickelodeon as a kid. Not so much anymore because of some of the things that they're doing now. But those shows will forever hold a place in my heart. I have a lot of memorabilia of those cartoons. I have socks, Nickelodeon cartoon socks, and I have my wallet. I have a Ren and Stimpy wallet I carry around. Um, I have little figurines in my office over here. So those TV shows had a big impact on my life as a kid, growing up. But never did I once get the impression that I was being persuaded a certain direction, or I had to question my sexuality or anything like that. Am I thought I had to question if I was 55, one of the 55 genders. I don't even know how many genders there are now. These people came up with. It was like 53 when I last checked, so I don't know if it's gone up. All right, so this kind of plays into what I'm talking about here. The majority of American voters oppose teaching gender identity in schools. This goes hand in hand with why I don't support Disney and why a lot of conservatives have decided not to support Disney. It's because of this nonsense right here. And the majority of voters do not support this in the schools. So let's check this out from Post Millennial. This is a poll done by the New York Times, and it revealed that the majority of American voters oppose allowing teachers to provide classroom instruction to elementary school children on sexual orientation and gender identity. Let's check out the numbers here. It says our campaign against radical gender theory has dominated public opinion. This is from Christopher F. Rufo. Per the New York Times, 70% of voters now oppose public schools teaching sexual orientation and gender identity in children in elementary schools, including 66% of women and 65% of Latinos. Okay. So I'm going to go through the numbers here real quick. It says we see 70% oppose, 27% support. So that's not surprising because you probably have about 25% on the left that are just far left, unhinged leftist lunatics, blue-haired, blue-haired, pink-haired, rainbow-haired, fat, wearing glasses. They think there are 65 genders. All right, so age groups, 18 to 29. Sadly, the youngest age group, 49% support this nonsense. But 51% oppose. So there's a majority there that oppose it, which is good. But then it's kind of a double-edged sword. Almost half the younger generation supports this. That's kind of scary. But hey, we'll take a win where we can. My age group, 30 to 44, 69% of us oppose this nonsense. And as you go up the age ladder, the age group, the amount of people that oppose it gets higher, and that's not surprising because you get more as you get older. You respect and appreciate more traditional things. You have more traditional values. When you're young, 18, 19, 20, 21, you're kind of dumb. You support whatever nonsense, left-wing nonsense that's out there. Then you can grow up and you kind of open your eyes a little bit and see that the liberal agenda is not what they make it out to be. It's actually very dangerous to our American way of living. And you have more conservative values as you get older. And that is very true for myself. I was a former Democrat. I wasn't a far-left lunatic. I was always in the middle, but I identify as a Democrat. And I voted Democrat, Then I got older and I became much more conservative. Actually, I was more conservative than I thought it was. In about 2014 or so, I said I no longer identify as Democrat. So if we go by race, white 73% oppose, black 57% oppose, Hispanic 65% oppose. So blacks are the least, are the actually more supported more. In more cases, I don't know why, but I don't know. That's a little disturbing. Yeah. So anyway, this is why we cancel things. This is why we've embraced cancel culture to a certain aspect because we don't want kids to be sexualized. We don't promote this nonsense. We don't support the promoting of this nonsense. So we have the right to cancel them just like they've been trying to cancel us, and it's going to backfire on them greatly. So anyway, guys, I'm going to end the video right there. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care.